right, we're at another location. Looks like we got a lot of vertebrae in here, George. Where's all these vertebrae from?
These are from the Aurora Phosphate Mine. This is an associated skeleton, and that means that all these bones, there's 610 pieces here, all from the same whale. And I was very fortunate that I actually found one of the complete ears.
Oh, that's awesome.
And that's how you identify the whale species, is with the ear bones.
That's awesome.
Because each species has a different size ear bone. And this is from a right whale. And the whalers called it the right whale because it was the right whale for them to kill, because the amount of oil, it didn't put up a big fight, and it stayed closer to shore than a lot of the other whales. So the whalers said that's the right whale to go after.
What was the wrong whale?
The big blue whale.
That was the wrong whale?
Bigger.
Don't mess with that one, right? That's the wrong whale. But this is the right whale here.
This is the right whale.
And these pictures in the back, is that actually...
That's the way I found the bones in the phosphate mine. And you can see the individual pieces in some of the pictures, and in some of them you can see 3 or 4 bones. And that's the way I found them, and in some of them I had to dig down a little bit to get more pieces of it.
And they were very close together then when you found it?
Yes, when it was the scoop that was used to dig that up, when they dumped it, it all stayed within about 8 foot of everything.
That's pretty
all
awesome.
In a range of 8 foot.
Cool, good job, George. That's awesome right there. I do see some more bones down here. Look at all these whale bones. I can tell they're whale bones. They got to be.
Yeah, they're whale bones. But they're not from the same animal. They're from the same kind of animal, but not the same one individual. And what I did, I wanted to show the different shapes of the vertebrae in the backbone of the whale. You have this is right behind the skull, the big piece here. Then you have the neck vertebrae, and then you have the lumbar and the thoracic, and then all the way down at the end, that's the caudal or the tail vertebrae. And then in front of that, these are pieces of coral.
Gotcha, man. That's pretty. That's awesome. There, at least you can kind of get an idea of how the bones go together. Because I have found different bones like this, and I didn't know how they really went into the whale, what parts of the whale they were, but this kind of tells you, I can go back and look at this and figure out where it goes at in the whale. That's pretty cool. Now, George, these don't look like fossils to me here.
Well, a lot of people don't think they are, but you have what they call concretions, you have petrified wood, you have crystallization. This is gypsum. These crystals here, these are called gypsum or selenite. And this particular one right here, Steve, if you pan over this way and look, you'll see a shark's tooth sticking out of that crystal.
Oh, I do see it. Yeah, right on the edge of it. Now, where'd you find this one at?
I found that on the Potomac River in Maryland.
Wow.
It's the rarest crystal of this kind because it's the only one that we know of, and I say we, the Smithsonian, knows of with a shark's tooth in it. And it's actually a tooth from a sand tiger shark. The root is embedded in the crystal, or the crystal grew around the root.
Right.
And what happened when the water evaporated, where the ocean used to be there, all the minerals and elements in the water all went to the bottom, and they attached to whatever was on the bottom there. So this tooth was encased with the crystal, and some of the other ones have clam shells in them, oyster shells. So it's amazing what's there.
That is amazing. That is a fact. Now back in the back, what's that one in the back left corner there?
The gray one there has green calcite crystals in it. The gray part is called a concretion. That's just where other minerals and elements and dirt all come together and they stick together, and it's called a concretion. But in the center part there, that's green calcite crystal.
And where'd you find that one at?
In the phosphate mine.
Oh, wow. I've never heard of one.
Which is really unusual.
Yes. I've been in there and I never saw anything look like that.
Well, no one else in there that I've ever known of ever found one neither.
That's pretty crazy.
And then to the right of it, that's actually a piece of petrified wood that I found in the mine.
That was found in the phosphate mine?
That was found in the phosphate mine.
Oh, my God.
And then to the
Amazing.
right of that, there's two pieces there, the white or grayish color. That's also gypsum or selenite. It's a natural form that grew in the mine when that was underwater. And then to the very end, these are two pieces of petrified wood that I found in the mine.
Wow.
And then that's a part of a geode my wife bought me for a gift.
Ah, okay.
And then this green piece here, we don't know if it's turquoise or copper, but when I was working as a mailman, one of the people that I delivered mail to used this as a doorstop because it weighs about 15 pounds.
Oh, okay.
And when he moved, he left that on the porch with a letter to the postmaster that he was giving this to me.
Oh, that was a nice present.
It was a nice present, and
you
he didn't know what it was. And I had a professor from East Carolina University come and look at it, and he said, well, it's either copper or turquoise. And he wrote that down, so I'm keeping that.
There you go, yep. As a keepsake from your mail days.
Right.
Pretty cool.
You never know. Now, back to the megalodon. I've had a lot of people ask me, how many teeth do you have to find before you find a big, perfect tooth? Now, Steve,
That's a good question.
Look in this drawer right here.
Okay.
This is a good example.
Oh my goodness! Look at this.
All these teeth. This is a mixture of species.
Oh my goodness.
There's makos and megalodon and tiger sharks and cow shark teeth and sand tigers. These are all small to medium, and they're all damaged. And it just a small to medium.
That's
in
just
the
a small.
drawer below it here,
Oh, the bigger ones.
we have the bigger teeth that are broken or damaged, half teeth. So I keep the broken fossils so you can use them for research. You don't have to destroy a perfect fossil in order to do research. That's like if you want to know how many layers of dentine or enamel there is on a shark's tooth, you could actually count the layers, and then you can see the interior structure of the bone. And it's perfect half of a tooth.
Oh, it's got some.
This would hurt
That would
you.
cut you right
Yes.
now. That is sharp.
But again, you can see that I have where I found it, the location, and when I found this. And all of my fossils have that information on them, even if they're broken.
Now, how about this one? This one looks like it's a good one.
Well,
I would think that would be fine if I found that.
The tip is missing. There's damage to the side of the tooth, and it's worn down. But I found it, Virginia, so that's marked on there. And then here's a little bit bigger half of a tooth. And there's another half. Now, talking about halves, a very unique story. I found both halves to a 5-inch megalodon.
Wow.
2 months apart on the Tidal River, on the Potomac River, years ago. And I did not glue them together. And if you come over here and look,
You got it?
you can see it.
I think I saw the one in your case that had two pieces. I was wondering about that one. I saw it back there. I actually did see
If
that
you
one.
look in the back,
I do see it. Yep,
you'll
I
see
saw
it's-
that one.
It's split.
Let's see if I can get a straight in shot here. Yep, right there.
And apparently what happened when that fell out of the upper portion of the cliff with freezing and thawing in the winter in Virginia, that fell down on the beach and it hit something very hard right on the tip, and it fractured and split, and the two pieces bounced apart. And I found one half close to the beach. 2 months later, I went back and found the other half about 12 feet from where I found the first half.
Wow.
And I came home and I put the two pieces together, and it's a perfect
And
match.
you knew it when you saw it. It might
I
be
knew
right.
it
You
when
said,
I saw
I
it.
can't wait to get home and put them together, right?
I knew it right away. But I didn't glue it together because the story, two halves are better than a whole.
Absolutely. I agree with you. I agree. That's pretty cool. All right, we're still hadn't gotten into the many drawers yet, but we're still looking at some of the stuff displayed here. And this is all whale bones, and we don't have time really to go into every single one of them here. But George, you want to show us a couple of them, what they are? Because we really don't have time going all of them. Show us a couple right there.
Well, Steve, this is part of a lower mandible or a lower jaw from a baleen whale. Baleen whales don't have teeth. So this is the front portion of the jaw, and it would come around this way, and then the other one would come around here. This is where they would connect in the front of the jaw.
Gotcha.
And then next to it here, this is actually part of a whale rib.
That's a big
This
whale.
would have been about 4 foot long total length. So this is part of the rib cage from a whale.
Awesome. All right, that's pretty cool. We got lots of whale bones here. We're going to hit. You got one more you want to look at?
Yeah, I want to show you this one because this one's unique because it has bite marks in it.
Oh, I see it.
From where a shark actually bit on it. Now, I don't know if the shark killed this whale. This is part of the flipper from a whale. But I do know that the bite marks are from a small shark, probably 10 or 12 foot long, where he actually bit into this bone trying to get something to eat.
I hear you.
Now, this is
That's
from
pretty
a whale
good.
that was probably about 40 foot long.
So he may or may not have survived.
I don't think he survived.
I don't think he did either.
Not with that damage.
All right, let's move on. All right, I saw a turtle shell sitting over there. Now, ask George about that. He said this is actually a modern shell, correct?
Yes, this is from a turtle that came out of the water to lay eggs in a quarry outside of New Bern, North Carolina. And the animal got up and somehow turned upside down and wasn't able to right itself, and it died because of the heat and lack of water, because this is a water turtle. They spend most of their life in water. So I use modern bones and shells and teeth of animals to compare with the fossil record. And a good example is right here in this drawer.
Why did I know you had fossilized turtles? Why did I know that, George, huh?
Just dumb luck, you know? But in this drawer is a good example. This is part of the shell or the carapace of the turtle. So this would be on the side of the shell, like that. And then another piece is like this. This is the tail end of the carapace.
Right,
and you can see the shape like that. But this is from a larger animal.
right.
This came from a turtle, was probably about 3 foot across.
Gotcha. Big
So
one.
we use, like this is a vertebrae from a turtle.
How about that?
And these are leg bones from a turtle.
Wow.
And different parts of the shell or the carapace from the turtle. And you can see the different positions where it would line up.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how we can
Pretty
use...
cool. That's awesome. Using modern day stuff to kind of compare to the fossilized.
Exactly.
To kind of show it. That's
Fossils
awesome.
not only tell us what animal or life form they're from, they can tell you what part of that life form they're from. They can tell you how they lived, what they had to eat to survive. Sometimes they can tell you how they died or what actually fed on the bodies after it died. Because you find bones with bite marks in them, and you can actually identify the shark or the large fish or carnivore that bit in it, because they leave that tooth mark is a fingerprint like in our fingers.
Gotcha. All right, George just comes, open a drawer over here, just full of more megalodons. Look at this. Look at these megalodon teeth in this drawer. Oh my God, it's bigger than my hand. It covers my entire hand. That is one big shark that used to hold that. Now, what's the difference between these in this drawer and all the megs over there?
Well, the big difference is when I first started collecting, I would find a lot of broken teeth. And I didn't have a clue what they looked like. So I decided that I was going to take some modeling clay and try to figure out what a whole tooth would look like.
Oh my
So
gosh.
I made the other half, and then I took this down to the museum in Aurora and compared it with whole teeth that they have. And I did that with all of these teeth. You can see that I made this part and this part and this
George,
part here.
I didn't even see that until you just pointed it out, that it wasn't that it was actually a reconstructed tooth. So this part right here is a real parcel of megalodon, and this is where you actually built it to match up to make it into a whole tooth.
Right, and then this one here, I made this part.
That is awesome. Look, that's amazing. It looks so real. If you painted that right, you would never know the difference.
Well, I didn't paint them, and the reason was I wasn't going to try to pass something off
Right.
that wasn't real. But this way I can show people what you can do with damaged fossils that would give you a better idea what a complete fossil would look like.
I'd like to know how you actually did that, but I think that's another video.
That,
That's a whole video in it.
yep, that's a whole
Hey, we
different
might
story.
do that. We might do that, George. We might do that. Take one like this and actually show us how you do that. That would be good. If y'all want to know that, let me know in the comments below. That's pretty awesome there. Man, that's amazing.
Now, this is a cast of a real tooth that I did find, and I found the real tooth with that set of peritotus teeth, and this is a cast of it.
That's
the
actually
real
a
tooth.
cast.
This is a cast that I made.
And you can't even tell the difference between that and a cast. I mean, a real tooth. Oh my gosh, that is amazing. I'd love to find a cast. I'd love to find out. Oh yeah, that's awesome. You even got the serrated edges on it. And that's some detail right there to get those serrated edges on there like that. That's amazing.
And it's painted to look like the original tooth.
Man, what kind of paint?
And
do
I
you use?
also have my nomenclature on it.
So you know.
My initials, the state initial, the site, the specimen number, and the date that I found this tooth.
Man, that's awesome.
So this is important information. Because when you get older in life, you don't remember where you found everything.
I don't remember now, man. What are you talking?
Well, I've got CRS. I just can't remember stuff.
Right, me too. I got it. I got the same disease.
Now my wife says I have old timer's disease. The older I get, the worse it gets. But it's very important, seriously, to document your fossils.
Right.
So with writing on there, all these years later, I mean, this, I found this in 1992.
Wow.
So how many years ago was that? Could you remember
No
all the
way.
detail?
I can't remember yesterday. Amazing. I'll tell you what, George, let's go through some of the cases here, and then we'll start going through some of the drawers. I mean, we got a lot of drawers to go through here, but I know we won't get to all of it, but let's look at some of the stuff you got actually in the display case here.
Well, the two white pieces, these are cast. The big one is a astragalus, or the heel bone from a walrus. The small one here is a cast, and the original astragalus from a seal.
Now, I'm looking at the original and the cast together right here, right?
Right.
Is that what I'm seeing? Now, did you get like plaster Paris or somehow?
This is called plaster Paris. You can also use a material called permastone, and the permastone is a lot harder than the plaster Paris is. The big difference is the permastone dries out quicker, it sets up quicker. So you really got to be quick.
All right, that's another video again. That's a whole nother video, so let's keep moving. We'll have to come back to that.
And in the back of the case, on the back left, that's part of the rear of the cranium or skull from a small whale. Yeah. And then all the bones to the right of that, they're all bones from skulls, from porpoise or whales, except for the one in the middle back that looks like a clam. Right. That's actually a caudal, which hangs under the tail of the whale in the back.
Tail of the whale.
And so, not a caudal. It's I'll think of the name in a minute. But that actually doesn't connect bone to bone. It's actually connected with tissue, muscle tissue. But that's right at the back end of the whale.
Gotcha.
And
how about this a big, like a horn up there?
The big piece in the back, that's not a horn. It's actually a tusk, a walrus tusk.
Oh, okay.
And that's a cast that the Smithsonian made. I found that. That's a female walrus tusk. And I donated that to the Smithsonian. And if you look real close, you can see my writing and also the Smithsonian's identification number.
Oh, okay.
And that's cataloged at the museum. And the black piece here in front of that, that's part of a male tusk, of a male walrus.
And we got some more bones back
And
here.
the two bones in the back, those are leg bones from seal. And then this piece in the front, this is a cast of the largest set of teeth from a stingray known. It's might be a new species. It's called Eta Betas. And the black part is the teeth. The cream color is actually the clay fill between the teeth. And you measure the thickness and the wear pattern to determine where the pieces go. And Steve, if you step back a little bit, I can show you the real one.
Okay. Oh, there it is. That's real right there. That's the real deal.
This is the real one, and the black is the teeth. Their teeth go from one side all the way over to the other. And then in this part right here, it's a wear pattern. And if you look, this part doesn't shine, but this part does.
I can see that, yeah.
And this is where this jaw would rub against the other one to crush and grind the shells, the oysters and scallops, and they eat a lot of good food.
I hear you.
So it wears the shiny part down off of the enamel off of the tooth. And their teeth in the jaw rotate forward like this. So their teeth are in the jaw. They're like this on the lower, and the upper curves like this. So they curve around like that. They crush and grind their food.
How about that?
And this is all from one stingray. And the Smithsonian thinks it was from an animal that had about a 25-foot wing spread on it.
Wow.
This is larger than anything the Smithsonian had. And it might be named after me.
Uh-oh.
I'm hoping.
That'd be good, yeah.
And then in this case here, there are 65 different species of gastropods and mollusks.
And these are all extinct, or?
Most of those are extinct.
I've seen a few of that one back there.
Yeah.
How you say that one correctly? Because I say it, I know I'm not saying it right.
Chesapeake jeffersonius. It's actually named after Jefferson. He didn't discover it. Someone else did, and they named it after him. If he would have discovered it, it would have been Jeffersoni. They would have added an I to the end of Jefferson.
Cool. All right, we got to end the video. I hate to do it, but we just got to do it. There's too many drawers yet to go through, and we're going to end it with this one fossil right here. What you got here, George?
Well, it's been identified by the Smithsonian as being alligator poop.
Oh, my goodness, we got alligator poop. A fossilized alligator poop.
Yeah, it's about 12 million year old poop.
Now, wait a minute. No, it's okay. Y'all can check it. You can handle it.
It won't leave a stain or an odor.
All right, we're going to.
But if it does, all you do is just walk over and wipe it off on someone.
All right, we're going to end with that right there, and we're going to hopefully come back and find some more. Look through some more of these drawers. There's plenty more to go. Let me know. I think we've taken up enough of George's time today, but we still probably have a couple hundred drawers of fossils to go through. So if y'all would like to see what's in some more of these drawers, and I'll show you right here. Maybe you can read some of them. Coral, scallops, petrified wood, vertebrate turtle. There's just everything in here.
Steve, there's a little over 150 drawers in these cases.
150 drawers we hadn't even talked about yet. I mean, I want to go ahead and look at all of them, but we just don't have time. Crabs. Look at that. It's unbelievable. I tell you what, George has got an amazing museum here, and we're going to come back if y'all want to, so make the comments below if you want us to come back and check out some more of these drawers. We got a lot to go through. All right, thanks for coming along. Okay, that concludes part 3 of the fossil legend in this series. Now, we pretty much ran out of time that day. We took these past 3 parts in, and but George has invited us back to complete the museum by looking through all the rest of the drawers. So, if you'd like to see the rest of them, comment below and let me know. And George has graciously invited us back to finish it up. All right, thanks for coming along on this venture. And don't forget, click on the old man's picture right here to get updates on when my next adventure's coming out. Right there, click. And some more adventures can be seen right here, right now. All right, thanks.